This is an overview of the editor positions on the UC Davis Law Review, which are listed here in the journal's bylaws for the 2020-2021 school year. The titles of editor positions and division of responsibilities may vary a bit between law schools, but there are also similarities in the general organization of editors among different journals. The lead editor of the journal is the editor-in-chief, sometimes abbreviated as EIC. Like a typical editor-in-chief of a publication such as a newspaper or magazine, the editor-in-chief of a law review has the final authority over the operations of the journal. During the spring, the EIC coordinates the process of selecting what gets published in the journal. On a regular basis throughout the rest of the year, the EIC checks in with editors to make sure they are on track to meet deadlines and to help troubleshoot any issues. Most of the EIC's time is spent on a final proofread of each published piece. This occurs in 5 rounds spaced throughout the year before publication of each of the 5 issues. At a high level, the EIC's job is to help other editors do their jobs well. The managing editor is essentially in charge of managing any journal operations that are not directly related to the publication tasks. During the spring, the managing editor's main task is leading the recruitment of new journal members, which includes coordinating the write-on competition. Throughout the rest of the year, the managing editor supervises the note and comment process. All members of the UC Davis Law Review write a paper called a note or comment as a second-year student. Editors who are the third-year students on the journal do not need to write another note or comment. Other example responsibilities of the managing editor are listed here in the bylaws. The executive editors are the bluebooking experts of the journal. At multiple stages of the editing process, the executive editors proofread the footnotes of drafts to correct any bluebooking errors. And throughout the year, they respond to bluebooking questions from both members and editors. The executive editors can also be involved in the article selection process, as well as during the recruitment process by providing bluebooking training and assisting with bluebooking exercises in the write-on competition. The Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Editor position, abbreviated as DEIE, was a new position added by the UC Davis Law Review in 2019. The DEIE's goal, as broadly defined here, is to help increase diversity, equity, and inclusion within the law review. In recent years, the DEIE has focused on supporting the journal's recruitment efforts and write-on competition in collaboration with the managing editor. The DEIE also leads a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee to develop and implement various initiatives throughout the year. The DEIE executive editors, managing editor, and editor-in-chief are members of the executive board. The current bylaws only provide a few tasks to the executive board. For example, determining specific mechanics for the process of electing editors and considering motions to remove editors. However, the executive board can also work together on more complex issues that are better resolved by a team rather than by any one particular editor. The senior articles editors, or SAEs, are the main liaisons between the law review and the authors of the pieces we publish. During the spring, the SAEs review manuscripts to select works for publication. After an article has been selected for publication, it will be assigned to an SAE who is in charge of that article throughout the whole editing process. In contrast to the executive editors, who focus on reviewing the Blue Book citations and the footnotes, SAEs focus on reviewing the substance of articles as well as style and grammar. The SAEs will send and receive working drafts from authors, answer questions from authors, and make requests to authors. For example, if the journal cannot locate a copy of a particular cited source, we may ask the author to provide a copy if they have one available. The Senior Notes and Comments Editors, or SNCEs, have 2 main responsibilities. First, they help the managing editor create the write-on competition and grade the write-on submissions from prospective members. As a result, the SNCEs have a larger workload during early summer, which is when the write-on grading happens. Second, the SNCEs are each assigned to supervise about 5 members during their note and comment process. This involves reviewing and providing feedback on a member's working drafts at multiple stages. Once the note and comment process finishes around late January, the SNCEs do not have any more tasks aside from participating in editor elections, so their spring semester journal workload is very light. The senior symposium editors organize the journal's annual symposium. The symposium is a 1 or 2 day event where we invite authors to our law school campus to present their works related to a particular theme chosen for the symposium. Afterwards, the journal edits and publishes their works in one of our 5 printed issues. Since the editing process is handled by other editors, the senior symposium editors primarily have an event planning role. They also lead a symposium committee to support the event logistics. Once the symposium event has concluded, the senior symposium editors do not have further tasks, so if the symposium is held in the fall, they will still receive credit for the spring semester. The senior online editors run the online edition of the journal, which is called the UC Davis Law Review Online. The online edition publishes shorter works, such as essays, so it is a nimble companion to the print edition of the Law Review. The senior online editors work with the editor-in-chief to select and edit pieces for publication. Thus, their work is similar to that of the senior articles editors, but in contrast to the print edition, which selects most or all pieces for publication in the spring, the senior online editors select pieces on a rolling basis throughout the year. The articles editors, or AEs, supervise the members in the journal's editing process. Each article selected for publication is paired with an AE. The AE assigns portions of the article to members to complete line editing of the footnotes, which includes checking both the bluebooking and substantive accuracy of the article citations. The AE then reviews and provides feedback on the member's work before passing the draft back to the senior articles editor assigned to the article. The projects editor position is an optional position that can be appointed by the editor-in-chief. Recently, we had a projects editor assigned to manage the journal's Twitter account when it was first started. This position is mainly useful for staffing new journal initiatives that do not fall into the responsibilities of any existing editor position. And that concludes this overview of the editor positions on the UC Davis Law Review.